All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Monday, November 8th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by atscalculator.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join, and you can make your selections each and every day right here at the atscalculator.com. It's very simple to use. All you got to do, let's say we go to the first basketball game of the evening, and that'll be a game between. I'll just pull up the game right now. And you go to atscalculator.com, go to NBA, and let's go get Atlanta against Golden State. That should be a great matchup this evening. And let's say you do that, and you go Atlanta, Golden State. Go get me the ATS results. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you see we got the home team, wow, winning by 17. And landing on 215.31. And you can see Golden State only a 3.5-point favorite tonight. So that's how the ATS calculator works. And you can get it here each and every day right here at atscalculator.com. All right. How was your weekend? Hope you guys had a great weekend. And the winners were yours. I know the dogs were barking on Sunday. I don't know. It was a pretty good weekend overall. In fact, when I look at the college football picks this weekend, finally had a good weekend. We had Purdue against Michigan State, which I gave here on the channel Friday. Tennessee +1, and Florida International was the only loser that we had here. And the our premium pick, our top college football premium pick this weekend was the Roadrunners. That's right. I went with the UTSA Roadrunners this weekend. In fact, when you look at right here, there's Texas San Antonio. That was our premium pick this weekend. Yesterday in the NFL, I had the Denver Broncos +10. That was my 5-unit play. That was my best bet. Put 500 on that one. And then lost with Carolina, but that's okay. We did very well with our NFL beer and pizza picks as well. In fact, let me see here. We went 2-0 yesterday. Atlanta Falcons +6.5, and the Tennessee Titans 7.5, and both dogs won straight up. So a very good day here this weekend at the ATS website and our premium picks, and also NHL. Not a bad night last night, 1-1, and our 5-star best bet was the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday night against the Boston Bruins. So overall this weekend allowed us to get to the winner's circle, and guess what? Cash out Monday, and we'll be cashing out this afternoon, and that's what the goal is. This podcast is. Each and every day when new people come in, the objective is to educate the new sports bettor entering the market and get to the winner's circle at each and every night, so you can get a cash out Monday. And folks, just remember why you do this. If you're doing it for a living or if you're doing it for recreational, you got to get to some form of cashing out. Either it's a Monday, Tuesday, or whatever day that ends with Y. And you get to that cash out Monday. Now, it doesn't have to be every Monday. It could be every second Monday of the month, every last Monday of the month. But you have to get to the winner's circle and you start cashing out, because that's the objective of doing this, right? You're not here to make the sportsbook rich. You're here to take some money out. All right, let me see who's in the house. We can see that people are slowly trickling in and stumbling, tumbling, and rumbling into the bullpen. And that's what we call the Ramblers and Gamblers here at the Raymond Report. And I want to wish good morning to Sniper from the Peg. It's Maine's World. Jermaine Brown's in the house. Plays and Parley's in the house. Mark Nations. Telly, Some Solutions, Elliot, Ronald. Hey, there he goes with the Ronald again, thinking he's family. Yeah, he is family, right? He's in the Rain Report, so we'll give him that one. Escobar Cruz is in the house, and Elliot, Panthers money line today for me, says Elliot V. All right, so hey, it's a Monday morning. I can see I got a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a cold or something like that. Went to the Ottawa Red Blacks game on Saturday with Mrs. Rain Report, Mrs. With my wife Natalie, and we had a good time at the Ottawa Red Black final game. I got to see one of the players we coach on the other teams, Curly Gittens Jr., and he scored a touchdown against us. But it was a good game. It was a good competitive game. Unfortunately, Ottawa came out on the wrong end of the win column. But they led all game, and the good thing, good teams find a way to win, and that's what Toronto did this weekend. Played a very pretty good, safe road game on the road, and they got the W, and we'll be looking forward to next year. Hey, if you're an old Ottawa Rough Riders / Red Blacks fan, we're used to those words here in Ottawa when it comes to football. All right, So if you are, again, tuning in for the very first time, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based here out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And this is where I hang my hat each and every day, Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. I try to be here 10:30 a.m. And now that I don't do videos in the morning, I'm more prepared. I got time to get everything, all my ducks aligned for the radio show. And hopefully you guys... obviously you're going to hopefully benefit from this, because a lot of time goes into getting a quality show here, a quality podcast, so that you guys can have some good information when you do go make your bets at the window today or this weekend, right? Again, if you look at the website, if you go to our YouTube channel, right below our YouTube channel, you're going to see there's a Ron's Top 30 Sports Betting Secrets. If you are new to sports betting, I highly recommend you go watch those videos. Now, it's going to take you a couple hours and maybe days to, somebody just wrote, "Hey, Ron, no more Yankee hat?" Look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Red Sox sweatshirt. What do you think is going to happen if I wear a Yankee hat and a Red Sox sweatshirt, right? Hey, name's Cupid, not stupid, right? And it's Monday morning, so it's you got to wake up pretty early to catch Ron Raymond snoozing on the cruise in here. But yeah, that's the reason why I don't wear my Yankee hat when I wear a Red Sox. I'm not that crazy. Hey, I know I'm above the 49 parallel, but I know what's going on in North America when it comes to the rivalries, right? But I just thought that was kind of funny with Elliot saying that. No more Yankee hat? No, Yankee hat will be back tomorrow. Again, the sports betting books, if you're interested in the Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, go to Tools, go to 50 Greatest Secrets, and right here you can see the book I wrote in 2009, and you can get this book just by going to the website. And also, if you're into horse racing tutorials, you want to learn about the ponies, I got, especially if you did the Breeders' Cup this weekend, hopefully you guys won. And there's some videos on how to bet the horses, and there's also a Raymond Report tutorial. If you go to Tools, go to ATS Tutorials, you can see that the Raymond Report right here, last 18 videos. Well, there's 18 videos to learn about the Raymond Report, and I got some good information I'm going to share with you guys this today. Got a really good show. We're going to talk about the SBI, the MVI. We're going to look at the league standings of all the teams and in what's coming in, favorites, underdogs, from a macro perspective and overall, besides the market value index. I'm going to look at days rest. I'm also going to look at team and players cycles. Now, what does that mean? Team and player cycles. So one reason why I took the Toronto Maple Leafs this weekend it was a small chalk, right? It was 128. Is Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, the Batman and Robin, they're finally playing, they're expected to play to their potential, right? And anytime players, what do you say in sports? When those players go, the team go, right? And if your Batman and Robin on your team is not going, then your team probably doesn't have a good chance of winning the game. But when your best player is in a zone and you can find his cycles of when he's hot and cold, there's a good chance your team is going to win. And I'm going to share you some information about that. What else we got here on? We're going to break down the Monday Night Football game between the Bears and the Steelers. We'll do the NBA computer picks, NHL computer picks, and then we'll wrap it up with the Trends Are Your Friends segment. I know Gloria K likes that. I don't know if Gloria K is in the house yet. I see Miss Danica, and who else? There's the Network. The Network's in the house. Did I see he's from Toronto? Who's from Toronto? I saw somebody said we're from Toronto. Let me see here. Who said that Toronto's in the house? Okay, Escobar Cruz is in the house. He's a Toronto guy, so he's probably a Leaf and a Raptor fan. I'm a Raptor fan, not a Leaf fan. You guys know that. Who else here? Who's Mizzou Network is in the house. I love the network there. He's in the house. And so you're right, but not Pittsburgh. Don't cover as a favorite, says Who's Mizzou. All right, so again, if you tuning in for the very first time, there's two types of betting system when it comes to money management that I recommend. And the first one is when you get a membership here and you're looking for my picks, I got two types of picks. One I call my beer and pizza money picks. These are picks, you see a little beer and pizza money right there. Those are picks that I normally wager $20, $25 a game. And, to a lot of people, that might not seem a lot, but to some it might. But these are the money that you can afford to lose, right? And they always say in sports betting, always if you're wagering, it's always money that you know that you can afford to lose. And if you depending on your bet every day or every weekend, we get the weekend warriors, right? Sometimes people just bet on weekends, and that's fine. Whatever whatever your recreational wagering habits are, that's awesome. And then I got my premium picks, right? These are the picks that I wait. And I wait for, look at hockey last week. I think I only played 2 hockey games last week. And these are the picks that I normally bet 1 unit to 5 unit. My units being $100. So I bet $500 on the Leafs on Saturday. And I did pretty well, right? They cashed in. So it was a good weekend overall at the Rain Report. But those are my types of investment tips that I give. You got to have a money management. And I say it all the time. And I'm going to, guys who watch this show each and every day, they'll say, man, he's always talking about this every day. I follow the script, right? Life is a script, and you got to follow the script. And the thing is, there's new people coming in each and every day. And if you're learning, I always recommend you can't be betting the same amount of money each and every day on the same game, right? You got to diversify your portfolio, right? When it comes to sports betting, just like when you're buying stocks, you can't bet the same amount on each game because the cycles in sports, roller coaster, right? And the thing is, when I talk, and for me, the Rain Report, value, percentage play, and performance cycles, it's the same thing in the investment cycles, right? You can't invest the same amount each and every day. You got to pick your spots when you're going to hammer that big play. All right, let me see here. Oh, there's Rusty. Must be an underdog coming in soon. Let me see here. Good morning, says Jess Michael. Good morning, Jess. Mitchell Watts is in the house. Good morning, Ron. Morning, Bullpen. Hope you all had a good weekend. Yeah, it was a good weekend. You know what? Like I said, went to the Ottawa Red Blacks game. First time me and Nat went to, since COVID. So it was really good to, it's just good to go out and socialize again and see people and have fun, right? Have fun. That's what life's all about. All right, let's get on with the show. And today's, we're going to go to see who the top pickers right now at the hockeypicks.com. And again, if you are new and you're looking for hockey picks, this here, guys, is one of the hidden gems in the industry. And you probably won't get it at first, and it just, some people will take a while to really understand how to use this site, bballpicks.com. And once you use this as a tool to validate your own selections, you're going to see that this is one of the best tools in the industry, because I always say all of us is stronger than one of us. And the more people, we're getting close to, I think it's 100 people a day now that plays at hockeypicks.com. And the more people that plays at hockeypicks, guess what? Let's say there's 100 people picking. What are the percentage of, somebody hitting 60% over 100 selections, right? I would say about 10%, 10 to 20% at most. Maybe 20%, right? And then you follow those pickers. And right now, the top pickers you want to score. Oh, look at that. Look at who's in second place. Our good friend Isaiah. Is Isaiah in the house? I haven't seen Isaiah yet. But Isaiah, you can see he's having a really good run right now. And again, cycles, right? I talk it all the time. Everything goes in cycles. And looking at Harnett, Harold Lakin's our top scorer again, 950. Eisen 502. Hey, Eisen, is that from Breaking Bad? Hey, Isaiah, Eisen. Hey, was it Eisenberg or something like that? And then Canuck Down Under, Rory Bashnik, 878. And those are your top 3 hockey pickers right now at hockeypicks.com. And let's see who the hottest picker is. And it's Nicholas Scott, 12-5 the last 2 days, along with Wise One and our own very good friend Devious, the sniper, underdog sniper, is 12-5, along with Justin at NHL Game Picks. And those are your hottest pickers at hockeypicks.com. Let's go to bballpicks.com and let's see who our hottest basketball pickers are. And let's go to top scorers. Eddie O from Montreal is at 884. Yours truly, Ron Raymond, 825. And Ovens B. Michael, 821. And those are your top basketball pickers right here at bballpicks.com. And David White is 11-3 the last 2 days. And Danchko, Lord D, is also 10-4 the last 2 days. And those are the people you should be following here at bballpicks.com and hockeypicks.com, folks. I'm telling you, if you go here and you sign up and you start doing your picks and you start following other good pickers, and then you go to the following page to validate your picks, you're going to see a big difference in your bankroll. All right, let's kick it off with the horse racing, and we always do this. and on the show. We always kick off the show with a little bit of horse racing, and hopefully today the Breeders' Cup. Hey, some good races this past weekend. I was at the football game, so I only saw a couple of races, but hopefully the Breeders' Cup was good to you. And let's go to Parks Racing today at 1:25 post time. First race, a maiden special weight race. The purse is $42,000. It's a 1 mile, 70 yards on the dirt. And we're going to go 276 in race number 1 today at Parks Racing. How do you spell that? Yugu with Jay Barrios taking a ride here on the 2 horse, Yugug. And the number 7 horse, Snoorer Will. Pennington taking a ride on Snoorer Will. And the 6 horse, Golden Essence with D. Haddock taking a ride on Golden Essence. 2-1 morning line on Golden Essence. And your joker, your value play of the day is the 5 horse, Just Happy. Silvera taking a ride on Just Happy. And Just Happy, the 5 horse, is 4-1 morning line. All right, let's take a look at the recommendations today in race number 1. In the Parks Racing, we're going to go 2, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5 exacta box. And if you're going to play trifecta, 2, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6 trifecta box. Always remember to box those horses. And if you're going to play the joker, the value play of the day, the number 5 horse, Just Happy. Take a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the 5, Just Happy. This way, if Just Happy comes in first, you get paid twice. He comes in second, you get paid once. And the bottom line is you get paid, right? That's what you want. You want to get paid. All right, so that is your free horse racing tip today right here at ATSstats.com. All right, I need this show on the weekend, Ron. Your insight is very important to me during the week. Yeah, Humazu says I need to work. I need my weekends off now. I did the show on weekends for a couple of months, but I feel much better, rejuvenated when I come back here on a Monday after winding down on the weekend. And I love it. Horse racing talk is like a commercial to me. I'll be right back. Smoke breaks, says Elliot V. All right, we'll catch you back on the flip side there, Elliot V. All right, let me see here. Now that we're done, we're going to go right into the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And what we do here is we take a look at the what's coming in the market, right? I always say, you always have to have your finger and your pulse on the market. And let's take a look at the NBA. What's come in? Let's see if the unders are still cashing in. You can see the unders. Man, it's been an unders breakfast, a dog's breakfast for the unders since day 1. But look at that. Our first time, we got 2 days of 50-50 action to the over-under. Bookmakers are adjusting. So what does that tell you? Start looking at some overs, folks. Start looking at some overs, and I'll tell you in just a few minutes where you should be looking for those overs. Now, if you look at the average, now you know at the end of the year, I'll guarantee you dollars to donuts. At the end of the year, this will be in the 50-50 range area, and the bookmakers will adjust. And because it might not be exactly 50-50, it might be like 53-47 type thing. But keep an eye out on the 7-day average. Right now, on the 3-day average, we're at 63% to the under, but the 50 on the 1-day average, I got a feeling the over is going to start coming back here in the next couple of weeks. And looking at the 7-day average for point spread, 56.1% of the underdogs have cashed in the last 7 days in the NBA, but they've won only 63.76% compared to 67% on the season. And let's take a look at the NHL. What's come in this weekend in the NHL? We'll look at the last 3 days and the last 7 days. So on the last 3 days, 54% of the favorites have cashed in, 65.3. Now last week, look at that. Remember, we had a lot of favorites coming in the NHL. We had an 8-1, 4-1, and the reversal, right? And again, this is why I do the show each and every day, to preach. I don't know what better word to say, is this to preach that everything goes in cycle. And the more you watch this show, and the more you'll realize you'll be looking for value. You'll be looking at the percentage play. Like right now in parity in sports, like look what happened this week in the NFL, right? And I'll look at the NFL in a second. Look at all the underdogs that came in. And if you're a dog player like myself, then you're smiling like a butcher's dog this morning because you had some good action here this weekend. Now, taking a look at the 7-day average in the NBA, you can see the NHL. 59% of the favorites have come in the last 7 days. So we're still in a bullish market for favorites. And I got a feeling we're going to start seeing a bit of a reversal, right? 65.3. So many favorites have came in the last 2 weeks. now we're going to start maybe seeing a bit of a change, right? And again, what goes up must come down, and you just got to really pick your spots on when you're betting moneyline sports, right? Let's take a look at the NFL this weekend, and we'll take a look at yesterday in the NFL. 5-7 for the underdog favorites. Look at that. The underdogs won 7 of the 12 games on Sunday, and 9-3 on the point spread. So again, if you bet the underdogs, you had a great day. And some players, most recreational public players are big favorite players, right? But this was the weekend where the sportsbook probably got a bit of relief because they've been getting hammered by favorites the last not week 7 or 8, maybe week 7 and 6 were more for the players. But you can see right here, right? If you look at the favorites in week 6, it was what, 10-4, and then last week in week 7 we had 8-4. So in the let me see, in the week 8 it was 7-8, and now we're starting to see a big little bit of reversal, right? So if you look at the last couple days, week 9 in the NFL, 6-7. But 9-3 against the point spread. And if you look at the this weekend in the over-unders, 53.8 in the NFL Week 8 of the unders have come in. And if you look at the trend here happening, the unders are now on a 4-week win streak. If you go back to Week 6, 57.1, 61.5, 53.3, 53.8. So the last 4 weeks have been unders week. And if you look at the underdogs, the last 3 weeks, it's been, 53 is very neutral. That's pretty 50-50 in my books. But 66 and 69% of the underdogs have come in the last week 8 and week 9. So it's been a pretty good week for the NBA underdogs. And what happened in college football? Let me see here. Let's take a look at the college football this week. 73% of the favorites won straight up, but only covered 52.6% of the games. And if you look at the last 2 weeks, 62.3 last weekend, and then we had a pretty much neutral market. So we've only seen the favorites have 2 bullish weeks in 11 weeks of college football. It was week 10, they covered 62.3%, and week number 1. So, you know what, only one underdog week, but I got a feeling you're going to start seeing more underdogs. And we talked about the bullseye. Remember I talked to this weekend? I said, guys, the top 25 teams, and if you recall on the college football show on Thursday, I said, there's 3 teams I'm going to watch out this weekend. I said, I got a feeling, because once you're in the top 25, especially in the top 10, you got that big bullseye on your back, and everybody's gunning for you. I said, Michigan State are in a very bad spot this weekend. Purdue upset. And the other one was also Wake Forest. Remember I said Wake Forest, not a good spot in North Carolina. And the other one was Navy. I thought Navy would have been a bit, but remember I said I wasn't too happy with Navy, the way their offense was playing. But those were the 3 teams I said to watch out. And every Thursday, what I do is I'll call it the Bullseye Report, right? That's what I think I'll call it. I'll call it the new Bullseye Report, where once you get into this type of season for college football, everybody wants to be in the top 10, right? Because the higher you go up now in rankings, the better bowl game you're going to get for your school. And what comes with better bowl games? Better cash, right? And that's what these schools want, because the bigger bowl you get, the more cash you can get. All right, so that is the SBI for the Sports Betting Index. Let's take a look at the MBI, the Market Value Index, and what we do in this segment. And again, you got to follow which team is the team of the hour, right? And this is why when I looked this weekend, I said, you know what? Toronto, Marner and Matthews starting to really warm up here, starting to heat up. And I said, I think Toronto is a great, great spot this weekend. In fact, let me go to NHL, and I'll bring out the Market Value Index. I'll do the NHL and I'll do the NBA to see which teams are bullish and which teams are bearish. Now, these teams, I know there's a lot of games in the NBA here tonight. In fact, let me pull up 8 games tonight in the NBA. If I go to the NBA, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So yeah, we got a lot of games tonight in the NBA, and we got the NHL also. So only 3 games in NHL, but here's your bullish teams right now in the NHL. Remember last week I said there was 10 teams in the penthouse? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're only up to 9, right? So Florida took care of business, and Carolina gave them their first loss of the year. Edmonton, man, McDavid, did you see him go through those 4 guys and then just dipsy doodle put it past the goalie on the weekend? That was a beautiful goal for McDavid. Carolina, Toronto's starting to heat up. Watch out. Winnipeg, Calgary, Columbus, Vegas, I'm not sure about Vegas. I don't know. I'm not sold on Vegas right yet. And Nashville lost last night in Chicago. Chicago fired their coach over the weekend. And looking at the Bears teams, look at that. Washington. Washington's going to turn it around eventually, right? There's no way team. But you know what happened to Washington? They went to play those Florida teams, and they didn't do too well down there. Chicago, Montreal, San Jose, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Buffalo, Ottawa, Arizona. Yeah, I don't know why we keep putting Hartford in there. Hey, the Whalers been gone a long time, but for some reason, still in their database. All right, there's your Bears teams right now in the NHL. We'll take a look at the NBA, and let me take a look at some of you guys. Ron, chat, what's up? How you doing, Eric? Eric Jones in the house. James Lill's in the house. Did I miss anybody? There's Will Mish. Hey, from Minnesota, Whole Foods in St. Paul, drinking coffee. Day off, says Will. Right on. Hey, is Will, are you a Starbucks, a Dunkin' Donut, McDonald's, or Tim Hortons there, Will? Those are the four we always talk about here in the bullpen. Hey, we should do a poll. Hey, what do you think, Will? I'll say he's a Dunkin' Donut guy. Or maybe a Starbucks. Yeah, I'll go Dunkin' Donut. I'll say he's probably drinking Dunkin' Donut right now. All right, Big Better says Sniper. I have no idea what you're talking about there, but I just saw the Big Better says Sniper from the Peg. All right, let's take a look at the bullish teams in the NBA, and look at that. We do have a lot of teams that are pretty bullish right now in the NBA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. All right. Soul Fierces. ATS, you have changed my betting angle tremendously. Much love. Thanks, my guy. Right on, Soul. Hey, Soul Fierces says, we've changed his betting angle tremendously, and that's the goal of the show, right? Is to, if it helps you adjust your, I don't want to use the word change, but if it makes you think and adjust the way you are wagering, then that's, that makes my day on a Monday for sure. So appreciate you posting that, Soul Fierces, and thanks for logging in this morning here at the Rain Report. All right, let's take a look at the bullish teams right now in the NBA. You got Golden State, Philadelphia. Man, those 76ers looking pretty good without Simmons. Miami, Brooklyn, Clippers, Cleveland, Toronto, Phoenix, Washington, and Dallas. Those are your bullish teams right now in the National Basketball Association. Now, keep in mind, some of these teams, coming off of wins and losses. The only team that's bullish and that they're coming off 2 losses is Toronto. So even though Toronto is very bullish right now, they're we sometimes I should put like the arrow going up, like bullish going up or bullish going down. Yeah, they're going down into the neutral zone, right? But they don't want to get too neutral, because what's in neutral? The outhouse, the Bears Club, and these are teams that are very bearish right now. Maxwell House, hey, and Maxwell House, hey, that's homemade coffee. That doesn't count. Sure it does. All right, Orlando, San Antonio, Minnesota, Atlanta, Milwaukee, Charlotte, Detroit, New Orleans, and Houston. And those are your bearish teams right now. And the only team that's winning or coming off 1 win streak is Orlando. So you can see Orlando trying to get out of the Bear Club here. So maybe Orlando, with that 1 victory in their last game, could be a team getting into the neutral pool. And the neutral pool, well, guess what? There's only 2 ways you can go, up or down, or you can stay in the same, right? If you win 1, lose 1 type thing. But that's not the goal of the show for them. Is they need to get into the Bears Club. The Bullish Club. They don't want to go in the Bears Club, right? All right, so those are your market value index teams. Now, I thought for a Monday, what I'll do on Mondays is like to recap what's going on in the league. And one of the things I like to do, and I was looking at this morning, and I was looking at NBA. Man, the under in the NBA is absolutely killing it, right? And it's really... if you're betting the totals in the NBA, it's if you're betting favorites, you're very contrarian right now. But take a look what I've been doing, and if you're a member of ATS and you whenever, like I said, I'm still, because I'm a hockey guy, but I still follow and I still follow the NBA, but I don't bet as heavily on the NBA. That's why I haven't put a premium pick this year, because I'm not I don't feel good on it yet. I don't feel like I'm in the zone yet to give an NBA premium pick yet, but once I do get in the role, then I will start posting my premium picks in the NBA. But let's see what's come in this season in the NBA, and you can see right here, 65.5% of the favorites have come in the NBA, 34.4% of the underdogs. Now, which one of those favorites and underdogs are coming in, right? Is it the home underdogs, the road underdogs? So you can see right here, home favorites are winning straight up 64.9% of the games, but very neutral when it comes to the point spread, 45 and 52, right? And home underdogs, 15 and 32, but 20 and 27 only. So home underdogs are very bearish right now when it comes to betting the NBA. Now, favorites, if you like favorites, take a look at this. Road favorites are winning straight up at 32 and 15 on the season, but 27 and 20 against the point spread. So not a lot of road favorites. Well, you know what? 57.4 is not that bad. But when you look at the when you break it down in range, pick them the -3 favorites. That looks like one of the best, along with the look at that, the low scope and the high scope of the totem pole right there. Pick them the -3, 19-11, 63.3%, but and also covering 63.3. So basically, teams that are picking the -3 are winning straight up and covering the spread. And look at all the unders. Like, I can go right through. Like, hey, your eyes are believers, right? You just see this right here. Just everything in red means that it's bearish for the over, good for the under. And man, it's just the under is really coming in at a high clip. In fact, unders, the best under right now, it looks like it's anytime you get a range of -9.5 to 12 when it comes to favorite and underdogs, right? 6, 13, and 1. But look at that, 16 and 4. But again, going back to pick 'em the -6. If the price is right, I normally tend to bet just the money line. I don't want to sweat these last 10 seconds of a game. If it's a -1, -2. And if you're betting favorites, you look at that, 63.3. So this is one thing that I do monitor when I'm betting. So this way I can see, all right, if I'm going to bet a money line, and if I'm going to bet a favorite, and what's the best way to do? Is it a home favorite, a road favorite? And as you can see right here, home favorites of picking the -3, 64.2%, which is not that bad. But look at the home favorite. I'm not laying $800 though. But the thing that I look at this. If you look at -9.5 to 15. So any game that's -9.5 to 15, the favorite is 17 and 3. Now I'm not going to tell you to bet a -10 because you're going to pay like $800 to $1,000 to win 100. But what I can recommend is you throw it in a parlay, right? A 2-team parlay. So let's say you like pick'em or a -1 with a high favorite. Well, that could help you with your payout right there, right? So those are the things that I look at when I'm looking at the NBA, and it gives me an idea which range is the best classifications of teams that I want to look at when I'm betting the moneyline favorites. But again, this is why we do these shows, to let you know which range, which numbers are good for betting money lines, right? NHL, you can see right here in the NHL, home favorites are winning at 62.1% of their games. Home underdogs, 45, which is not bad when you think about it, right? 45.7% of home underdogs are winning the game straight up. 62.7 on the puck line. I've been telling you guys since day one, puck line, right? And if you take a look at the puck line, find your spots to bet the puck line, and you will see you'll do pretty good. In fact, road underdogs on the puck line, 60% on the year, 72 and 47. And again, I'm not saying to bet the puck line every day. Find your spots, find the right time, the right cycle, and then hammer it. All right, those are some of your, let me see here, any over-unders I should be talking about here. Nothing really. You see a lot of yellow, right, for the over-unders. And the puck line, everything in green is very bullish. Everything in red is bearish. But if you're betting favorites this year in the NHL, right now, favorites, 59.5% of the games for the favorites. All right, let me see here. One thing I also wanted to talk to about is days rest. Now, some of the things that, there's so many. Oh, I skipped leagues. No, I did that. All right. So one of the things that we like to talk about on the show here, and you see it in the Rain Report, is that sometimes in the Rain Report I'll talk about, all right, this team is playing on 1 day's rest, 2 days rest, back-to-back games. Should I play that team on the first leg of a back-to-back, the second leg of a back-to-back? It's all written there in the Rain Report when you go and you watch I'll show it to you in a second here. But here, and 3 games in 4 nights, right? I think the 3 games in 4 nights, it's I can make a case for either way, right? It's like every time I'm handicapping a game, I feel like I'm in a courtroom, right? I'm making a case for the underdogs and the favorites. But let's take a look at which team is the best team on 1 day's rest. And believe it or not, the Lakers, 5-0 on 1 day's rest. The Hornets, 4-2. Washington, Golden State, Cleveland, Hey, Cleveland, I'll show you that in a second. Cleveland 4-2. Chicago 4-0 on 1 day's rest. And let me see here. Raptors and the Sixers and the Knicks are all the top teams, the top 10 teams right here, or top 9 teams on 1 day's rest straight up. Against the point spread, your best teams against the point spread on 1 day's rest. Washington, Orlando, look at Chicago, 4-0. 4-0 on 1 day's rest. Cleveland 4-2, Charlotte 4-2. Now 2 days rest, and I'll just use the point spread. I'll just go with point spread. Look at that. There's not a lot of scheduling. The one thing I've noticed in the early going of the NBA, not a lot of 2 days rest for teams, right? Either they're playing 1 day's rest or back-to-back games, but that's what I'm noticing right there. So in back-to-back games, which team? Again, not a lot of volume, so I'm not going to really go out on the ledge and say this is the best team on back-to-back games because there's not a lot of volume right here. But 3 games in 4 nights, Cleveland Cavaliers. Believe it or not, the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they're playing 3 games in 4 nights, they are 4-0 against the point spread. Pelicans 3-0, and I'll just do the anything over 3, right? So those are your best teams in the NBA on 3 games in 4 nights. Let's take a look at the NHL. And the NHL, now it's a little bit different since they've been going a couple of weeks or maybe 1 week ahead of the NBA, so we'll get a little bit more volume here. Now the Florida Panthers, now Quenneville's gone, and the Panthers don't miss a beat right now, right? 7-0 on 1 day's rest. Calgary 5-2, and Edmonton 4-0. And look at all these other teams with 4 wins, right? So too many to really talk about right there. But a lot of good teams right here. So keep an eye on 1 day's rest on these teams. But again, when I'm talking about Florida, Calgary, Edmonton, those are your top teams, right? Those are teams, they're going to come with a high price tag. So you really, maybe if I look at these teams right here, which team would I say of the 4 team wins? Vancouver, Vegas, maybe the Rangers, St. Louis. St. Louis is cooling off just a bit. But all these other teams, Toronto, Carolina, all these top teams, they're going to come with a hefty price tag. Now, the best teams on 2 days rest, you can see here it's Edmonton 3-0, but very balanced. Again, I'm not going to talk about teams that are just 2 games or 2-1. That's 66%. But Winnipeg and Edmonton, look at that on 3-2 and then 3-0. Back-to-back game situations, and no, not a lot of back-to-back games so far this year in the NHL. And when you look at 3 games in 4 nights, there's only one team that's perfect, and that's the Nashville Predators, and they are 3-0. About the over-under. Yeah, look at the overs. So if you ever wonder, hey, Ron, you know what? NHL teams playing in 3 games in 4 nights, should I be leaning under or over? Well, if you're playing the over, you're on these teams, you're 3-0, and that's Anaheim, San Jose, and Detroit. And if I look at the other scale, there's no 0-3 to the under, but there is an 0-2 to the LA Kings. All right, those are some of the days rest that I wanted to. Again, I'm not going to do this every day, the days rest. I'll do it on the Monday. I think Monday is like a heavy lifting day, eh? The weekend, we gotta burn some calories here. I got to do some heavy lifting here on a Monday, and that's why I'm going to bring these, things that, you're not going to do these stats every day because I'll put you to sleep and the people are going on coffee breaks, right? Like my good friend Elliot there. But I think it's good every Monday to just recap and just have an idea what's who's who in the zoo type thing. And so I think this will be like a Monday, heavy lifting Monday, right? Maybe a cash out Monday and a heavy lifting Monday, we'll call that. All right, so this weekend, what I did on a Sunday morning, I said I'm gonna kill some time and I'm gonna do a bit of research. And the one thing about handicapping, and if you're a thinker, you need time to think. You can't have distractions as a thinker because you need to analyze what's going on. And the one thing that a couple of things when I look at sports is when your best player goes, the team goes, right? And that's, I'm not stating the something that you probably don't already know, but your best player has got to be your best player. But even though your best player, they can have cold streaks, right? Just like a team. So when I look at the team, I look at from a macro point of view, the team, and what's the micro of a team? The players, right? So when I look at the stats, and the thing is, sometimes we're so focused on on team performance that we tend to forget sometimes, that you got to look at the player performance, and it's a lot of work. The one thing about player performance, if you're going to go through player performance and you're doing like NBA, NHL, NFL, well, forget the colleges. I'm not going through every team in college because I probably won't even sleep. But if you really want to master one sport, that's the only way you're really going to be successful, is if you focus on one sport, on team player performance, right? If I start studying player performance on NBA, NHL, NFL, that's a lot of work. You need a lot of resources and you need a lot of tools, right? So, but there's things that I thought, you know what? How do I incorporate, using the Rain Report, the value, the percentage play, and the performance cycles, right? And that's where I got the idea. I said, I'm looking at team performance cycles, but I should be looking also at player performance cycle. And what really triggered this was Matthews and Marner's performance on the weekend, right? And I said, you know what? See, when your best players are playing and the team, that's when the team is, if you get them in a good cycle, you can get a good value price, right? So when I look at the NHL right now, and I'm using a couple of websites, and I found this website, and I've said, all right, what are the top players right now trending in the last 5 games? And I won't name you all the players because there's like over 100 players or 60 some players, but I'll give you the top 10 teams, the top players that are performing their best right now in the last 5 games, and that's Leon Draisaitl. Edmonton's got 12 points. Mitch Marner's got 11 points in 5 games. Tavares has got we talk about Matthews and Matthews and Marner, but look at John Tavares. He's got 9 points in his last 5 games. Connor McDavid, Patrick Kane, win last night. Matthew Tkachuk of Calgary, he's got 8 points last 5 games. Austin Matthews. So there's 3 Toronto Maple Leaf guys that are performing well in their last 5 games. And look what's happening to the Leafs, right? They're playing better hockey. And again, when your best player goes, especially if it's a Batman and Robin type player, then you're going to play better. Brent Burns, 6 points in his last 5 games. Alex Iafallo of the LA Kings, and Ovechkin. Ovechkin's got 6 points in his last 5 games. So of all those teams, what team sticks out, right? Toronto. So to me, when you start handicapping and you're looking for trends, you see on Twitter, what's trending on Twitter. Well, which player is trending in each sport, right? And go find those players, and sometimes you can find that low market team that no one's talking about, and you can find some value in there. Now, when I look at the NBA, and here are the top trending players in the month of November. So I'm still, trying to figure this site out. I wanted to do last 5 games, but I haven't had a lot of time to play. But I did find November, so there's 8 days in November already played. So it's basically last 3 games here. Now, DeMar DeRozan has been the hottest player in the last 3 games, 33 points, so Chicago Bulls. Donovan Mitchell, 31.3. Kevin Durant, big win yesterday against the Raptors. LeBron James, only 1 game, but 1 game in November. Now, keep in mind, it's not last 5 games, it's just in the month of November. Luka Doncic, 29 points so far in the last 3 games. The Joker, 28.3 points. Zach LaVine, Chicago. Devin Booker, 27.7. Jordan Poole of Golden State, and then Giannis Antetokounmpo, 27.3 points. So when I mentioned those trending players right there, which ones stand out, right? You don't have and the one thing I look for when I start handicapping that way is I look for the Batman and Robin scenario, right? Like in Toronto, I had Marner, Tavares, right? Marner and now you got 3 Marvel characters right there with Matthews, Marner, and Matthews going really well, right? But for the NBA, there's none of them that really stands right. Maybe Chicago, right? Levine and DeRozan. So maybe Chicago, keep an eye out on the Chicago Bulls to see how they do as a performance. Because when your best players perform, then your team performs, right? And if your best players aren't performing and you're not paying attention to their performance in the last 3 to 5 games, then you're wondering why you're losing that bet. Go look at your players, right? So I'm not much of an NBA pro, says Sniper. Yeah, no, just food for thought. And again, and anytime I get these feelings on, one thing as a handicapper, and I pride myself in, is being a thinker, right? thinking, okay, what did I miss? What's the obvious, especially when you lose, right? When you win, you take it with a grain of salt. You don't even really analyze it because you're winning, right? But when you're losing, and not that I'm saying I'm losing all the time, but I said when I do lose a game, I have to learn from it, right? It's like coaching football. Always learn from a loss, right? What did I do in this game that that I did differently, or what did the team do different? What did the coaching staff do different? And the players, are the players injured? And that's why injury plays a big part, right? You got to see, who's injured. Is one of your Batman and Robins injured, right? And again, I know we're so focused on Batmans of all the teams. And when I say Batman, I'm talking about, your LeBron James, your Kevin Durant's, your Giannis, your top players. But, your supporting cast plays a big role also, right? Especially those Robin type players. And you got to, check the injury report to see really how they're doing. NBA is for beginners bettors. NBA is for beginner bettors. What do you mean by that, Bo? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But, yeah. But anyway, something to think about. I wanted to bring that to the show here today. Team and player cycles. And again, this is what I do each and every day, right? I might not have a rant like this. I call these rants. I might not have a typical rant like this. But again, in handicapping, the way we we analyze games, and I think it's so important to have a healthy discussion and with like-minded people who are also sports bettors to tune in and give your 2 cents, right? Hey, you know what, Ron? Remember that day you're talking about the players, the Batman and Robin scenario? Here's something you might want to add to that. And that's, and that's what this show's all about, is to, get the old dopamines kicking off, and hopefully, this leads to other people thinking, and getting what's the end result, right? Getting more winning picks. All right, let's go to the Monday Night Football. Let's take a look at this one between the Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Steelers winners. Let me see. When I was doing where's the Steelers? When I was doing my market value index, the Steelers are part of the Bull Club right now. They're on a 3-game win streak, but let's take a look at who they've beaten, right? I always say, hey, you know what? They beat some pretty good teams right here in the last 3 games. They beat the Broncos, they beat the Seahawks, and they beat the Browns. Now, the Seahawks there was no Russell Wilson, but we saw what the Broncos did to the Cowboys yesterday, and we saw the Cleveland Browns, what happened yesterday, then big win for the Cleveland Browns, and looking at the Steelers. But it wasn't a big offense. It wasn't a big offensive performance by the Steelers, but they got the W in Cleveland. And one of the hardest things to do in sport is winning in another team's building, right? Stadium or wherever the playing platform is, right? But anytime you can win on the road in a hostile environment like Cleveland, like Denver. Well, Denver was at home, so 2 of the last 3 games have been at home. And for the Chicago Bears, they haven't. They've been very, very. Well, how can I say that? I was gonna say inconsistent, but you got to be winning games to be consistent, right? Hey, in order to be consistent, meaning you're winning. So yeah, the Bears have been sucking lately. So there's let me just lay it out there. All right, 14-24 against the Packers, the Buccaneers, and the 49ers. Now the first thing that comes to my mind right here. All right, so you played Rodgers, Brady, and the 49ers. Garoppolo? Yeah, Garoppolo. So. When I think of the 49ers, I think mostly defense, but there was no defense yesterday in Arizona. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad here of the opponents they played, but still, Chicago's last win was at the Raiders, and where else did they win? They beat the Lions, a big deal, right? And then they beat the Bengals. The Bengals, that could be a good win. That's a good win against Cincinnati, who lost yesterday to the Browns, and then they lost to the Rams. All right, so taking a look at the Monday Night Football game, always what I do is I look at my fundamentals, right? I always go to value, percentage play, and then I look at the performance cycles. Now, I have the value on this game, plus 1.17, so you can see Pittsburgh overvalued tonight against the Bears, and I had the Bears at plus 9. And then if I look at the winning percentage, in fact, let me also bring over, let me take this over here, and I'm going to go to my my system forecast. I always like to do the system forecast along with the all right, let me see here. What do I have on my system forecast? 25-14. Okay, 25-14, and here I got 23-15. So 20. Okay, so I got them winning by how many here? I got them winning by let me see, 11. So I got them winning by 11 here, and here I got them winning by 8. So, all right, Pittsburgh, 6.5. I can see that. I can see a touchdown tonight. Chance of winning 71.5, chance of covering. Now the percentage plays. Now the percentage plays is based on what goes up must come down. So it's based on perception, right? And when we look at the perception, the confidence level of the betting public tonight, betting Monday Night Football, let's go take a look what the perception on the confidence level tonight. Oh wow, 0% and 100. Yeah, so that's just based on the last 3 games, right? So very low confidence level tonight on the Chicago Bears. And normally, if you're a contrarian, that's a good thing, right? Because if you do like the Bears plus 6.5, and you go into this game, it's Monday Night Football. Chicago, what's their record on the year right now? 3-5. A loss tonight really you can kiss their season goodbye, right? 1-3 straight up, 1-3 against the point spread. Pittsburgh has not really been a home record at home, right? 2-2, 1-3 against the number. So it doesn't give you a lot of confidence that playing at home. And if you want a team that's inconsistent a bit, it could be the Steelers, right? They're on a good little run right now. But after that win against Buffalo, what did they do the next game? They lost to the Raiders, lost to the Bengals, lost to the Packers, and then they beat the Broncos, Seahawks, and Browns. 3 teams where you could probably make a case where their season is can go either way, right? Broncos, Seahawks, and Browns. So this is a very I think the line's pretty tight. I would have and keep in mind, right? What's been the trend of the weekend? Underdogs. So if you do like the underdog, plus 6.5 on the Bears might be, if you follow the trends. But let me see how Chicago has done the last week 9 since 1983, 13-6-2 against the point spread. But again, that's just trends, right? I'm just looking at trends. Coming off a 3-game losing streak, 4-7-2. So the last 3 years, road teams off a 3-game losing streak, 18-20-1 against the point spread, 4-9 to the under. And 4-9 to the 16-23 to the under, 16-23 to the under. It doesn't. The thing that scares me with this game is that the whole world's going to be on Pittsburgh. That's what I get the sense that the whole world's going to be on Pittsburgh. If I had to play this game, and let me see what's Pittsburgh record in the month of November. Normally, let me see the month of November. Let me go to my database. I want to check something out here. Steelers. I want to see how the Steelers do typically in November at home as a favorite. So we'll go maybe last 10 years, right? Big Ben's been there about 10 years. So let's go to the database. Let's go Pittsburgh Steelers. And then we'll do a Monday night. We'll check home favorite, month of November. And November tells us what? Pretty cold month, right? Let me see. Where's November? There we go. November, and we'll do last 10 years. So let's go last 10 years. All right. Oh, wow. Look at that. 10-2-1 straight up. Where's that one? Okay, that's the... I don't know why that's there. I'll have to fix that. All right, 10-2, 7-5 against the point, 9-4 to the over. All right, how about home favorite? November on a Monday night. Let's get the Monday nighter. All right, where's Monday Night Football? Monday. Okay. I think it's after here. There it is. Playing on Monday. All right, 6-0. Wow. So the Pittsburgh Steelers as a home favorite in the month of November, playing on Monday night. 6-0, 4-2 against the point spread. Wow, that's pretty good. Let me see what Bookmaker has. I want to see what the latest line is. That's a pretty good record. Let me check Chicago. I'll do Chicago in just a second. Let me see. Football, NFL. Let's take a look at this. Oh, line's 7 now. 7-39. Well, money line's too high, 320. Let me check Chicago. Chicago Bears. And the good thing about these franchises, a lot of history, right? So you can see we'll probably get a lot of data. So away underdog, November. Let's do just away. Not even away underdog. Let's go away. 4-3, 6-1. Yeah, there's something that just with the theme of the week, with the underdogs winning. Let me see here. I was away underdog. Month of November, 6-1. You know what? I didn't do. Let me do Pittsburgh again. Let me just do home team. 3-7. Wow. Oh no, not Philadelphia. Pittsburgh. 7-0. Wow, something's got to give tonight, right? 7-0 and 5-2 against the. You know what? I'm looking at this. The Chicago Bears 1-3 against. Pittsburgh's only 1-3 against the Bears at home. 1-3 since '83, and home teams are 14-7 the last 3 years against. And how's the Steelers after a win? 7-6. You know what? But doing it. Let me check something. I just want to check one. Check the injury report. Let's go to NFL. I want to see the anything change on the injury report. Can we trust Justin Field tonight? Monday Night Football. I don't know. When in doubt, you get out, right? And the one thing with the totals, 39 points. Even the total's tight. And what do we got the total? Yeah, 39.1. You know what? Small lean on the Bears. Small lean on the Bears. And that's because of the Steelers' inconsistency, right? Just the Bears are very inconsistent. Knowing that we know that's because Atlanta George Sums. All right, Bo Jackson for the people. Don't believe I do Braves home run. For the people. Okay, the Bears QB is mobile. That's an edge. Yeah, I agree with Steph. That is an edge. When you attempt to explain geometry, you're given the fluoride stares. All right. All the dedication to Hank Aaron's. Passion. Thanks, Sniper. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to small lean on the Bears plus 7. We're getting 7 now. This line was at 6.5. So, even though the computer has them at 8, I think you're getting value on the Bears. And I think the betting public's going to be on the Steelers. And I think, just like last night, right? Betting public was on the Rams. No one gave the Titans much of a chance. And I see the same type of scenario playing out here tonight. All right. Let's take a look at the NBA tonight. And how we doing on time here? Not bad. Holy God. Already 56 minutes. Do you believe that? Man, it feels like I just logged on. All right. New York taking on the Sixers. -4 is the line. The over-under at 212. We've got Philly winning tonight. 103-99. The over-under at 203.78. But you know what? The Sixers, look at this. I want to show you guys something. I was looking at the top teams on the point spread, and look at the Philadelphia 76ers along with Cleveland. Cleveland, hey, check this out. The top point spread teams. Sixers 7-3, Jazz 7-3, Washington 7-3, Cleveland 8-3. No, New York started the season right, but now they've been fading quite a bit, right? Philly at home is going to be tough. They're on a 6-game win streak, 5 ATS. My line on the game, -8.4. You're getting -4. So you're getting good value here if you do like the Sixers. And the total in the game, 203.78. And my line was -1.9. But I got a feeling the Sixers coming off a big win. Was it Saturday night against the Bulls? So this could be a tough situation, handicapping situation for Philadelphia. Brooklyn, big win last night in Toronto, now taking on the Bulls. So they had a big look at game. Now they got, we're talking about the Bulls, right? In the player cycles with DeRozan and Levine. So two guys on pretty good trend right now. 104-106 favoring Brooklyn. The over-under at 211. Now keep in mind, Brooklyn now on a 5-game win streak. So they're starting to roll right now. Durant's starting to get going. You got Memphis taking on Minnesota. We got the Grizzlies winning 113-109. The over-under at 222.5. Minnesota on a 4 straight up NATS losing streak, playing on 2 days rest. Now remember in the NBA, we didn't see a lot of teams playing on 2 days rest. Same thing with Memphis. They lost their last game 115-87 against the Wizards. My line on the game, plus 4.7. So Memphis overvalued here tonight, but we got them winning by 4 only. So I think Minnesota might have a bit of value. New Orleans taking on Dallas. We got the Mavericks winning 107-98. The over-under at 205.74. Looking at the chance of covering, very high. Look at that, 89% and 80%. When we look at Dallas, where was Dallas when it came? Man, I think they're on the other end of the spectrum here. I don't think. Yeah, look at Dallas, 2-7 against the point spread this year. So, and what about New Orleans? The Pelicans, they're probably middle of the pack, right? Let me take a look here. Let me see New Orleans against the point spread. Where's the Pelicans? Man, they're not doing too well too. Oh, here they are down here, 4-6. So, hey, you know what? This might be a game where Dallas needs a weaker opponent type thing. 1-9, the Pelicans on the year, where Dallas is on a 2-game win streak. However, they've lost 3 in a row against the points spread. I think this is a good spot here tonight for the Mavericks. I got them winning by 9. Miami taking on the Denver Nuggets. I got the Heat winning this one. Now the Heat coming off a 118-115 victory over the Utah Jazz, where Denver beat the Houston Rockets by 1, 95-94. And what's Houston's record? Let me see here. Denver. How's Denver doing against the point spread? Denver. Houston is 5-5, and Denver, man, not too good, eh? Not too good. Look at Denver, 3-6 against the number. But again, what goes up must come down, right? Miami. Sorry, was I looking at Miami? The Miami Heat. Yeah, look at that, 6-3. Again, think like a contrarian, right? You don't want to get caught in that cycle of public thinking. 103-105. So we do have, that's a tight one right here. I'll have to check the forecast. Atlanta taking on the Warriors. Now the Warriors beating the Rockets 120, winning by 13 against Houston. And then Atlanta losing to Phoenix 121-117. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now. So Nate McMillan not having the success he did when he took over last year with Lloyd Pierce. And then 8-1. Look at the Golden State. They're starting to look like Golden State that won a lot of championships right now. 117-111. So we got them winning by 6 against the Hawks. Phoenix taking on the Kings. Wow, look at that. 112.9, 112.6. And looking at the Kings' last game, 94-91 against the Pacers. And Fort Phoenix, 121-117 against the Hawks. They're on a 4-game win streak right now. They're 5-3 on the year. And my line on the game, I had Sacramento minus 1.7. So I think we're getting good value here on the Kings tonight. And the game of the night, you got Lakers taking on the Hornets. Hornets now 5-6, off to a good start, but now they're 5-6. 4-game losing streak, where the Lakers have also lost their last 2, losing 2 nights ago to Portland, 105-90, losing by 15. And then let me see here, we got 117-111 favoring the Lakers. And we got them favored by 1.5. So those are your NBA. This is the NBA tonight for the computer forecast. And if you like the NHL, we talked about the Warriors have great chemistry. Yeah, they do. Absolutely, they do. And, Curry's just, when you're healthy and you can trust your body. When you come off an injury, there's a trust factor in your mind with that the part where you're injured, right? You just sometimes you're reluctant to do those moves that you used to do, not before the injury. But when you come from an injury, it's really tough on the old psyche, right? All right, so looking at tonight's game, the Panthers taking on the Rangers. This is a tough spot for the Panthers, right? Panthers, they beat Carolina. They gave Carolina their first loss of the year. Now they travel to Madison Square Garden. I think this is a tough, and the Rangers got to get back into the win column. They had a really bad road trip out west. The Rangers, the last thing they want to see every night is McDavid and that dangle of 4 players. Now that's going to be on the resume all year. Got to watch that replay. But Shesterkin got to get back to form. We do have the 116 as the line, the over-under at 5.5. You know what? I'm gonna might lean with the Rangers here tonight. When I look at all the teams, the games, if there's one underdog that might have a shot, it could be tonight, the Rangers. But I got to look at the head-to-head matches. I want to see how the Rangers have done against the Panthers before I go out on the limb and give you the Rangers. But the computer pick, based on 34 previous game in the system, is going with Florida, 3.3 to 2.7. Over-under at 6.1. Maybe the over is where you want to go. Buffalo taking on Washington. Now Capitals, they're going to be in a nasty mood. They've lost 3 straight. And, they lost those 2 in the Florida State. It's tough to win, but, it's November. Yeah, I can see if it was January, February, where you're in Washington, it's cold, or, I don't know if there's no snow maybe in Washington in the winter. But when you go to Florida and you play those 2 teams, those are 2 tough games to play the Lightning and the Panthers. You lose those, then you come home, you lose to the Flyers, and you lost to Carter Hart. That, to me, that was a tough loss. So the Capitals got to get back on track here. 2-1 was the final, and both teams coming in on a big losing streak, right? Look at the Sabres. 4-game losing streak. They had a really good start to the year. They went out west, and since then they've been struggling, right? Struggling. 3.4 to 2.7. The over-under at 6.2. I do like Washington, but I'm not laying 250. And Toronto. We talked about the Marner, Tavares, and Matthews. They're starting to roll. Watch out for Toronto. I think 5-game win streak. This team is rolling, but you got a team coming in on a 4-game win streak. The Kings are rolling, but I'll have to check to see how the Kings do in this building. This is going to be a tough one here. 3.1 to 2.4, the over-under landing on 5.51, so a hair over the total. And looking at the lease, what's the line? I had minus 148, so overvalued here today for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm leaning right now. I'm not 100% sure, but I might lean Rangers, Washington, Toronto on my hockeypicks.com, but I'll give it a shot. I'll have to do a bit more handicapping on the head-to-head matches for those games. All right, that's a wrap for a Monday. Hey, a heavy lifting Monday. I felt like it's good to review the Mondays, to look at the lines, to look at the betting market, and again, keep in mind that team and player cycle when you're doing your handicapping. Don't get lazy. The one thing I always tell our team when I was coaching football is, I know it's week 6, but you can't get lazy, right? You can't get mentally lazy. And if you're investing money and, you're just not doing the homework, and then, time in, time out, right? If you're not putting in the time, I think it's very important that you dot the I's, cross the T's, and do your homework when it comes to sports betting. But the one thing, maybe I'll elaborate more this week is, I'm always talking about the percentage of time given to your handicapping, right? And if you're handicapping this time of year, baseball just finished, then you had NHL, NBA, college football, NFL. Those are 4, and then you got college basketball coming soon, right? That's 5 major sports of a lot of information, and then you know why the sports books are winning. The sports book have the money and resources to have the tools to see the percentage play where it's going to go, right? And to me, it always comes down to that value, percentage play, and to me, and the performance cycles. But 60% of my observations and handicapping is boiled down to percentage play, because what goes up must come down. Teams can't win forever, teams can't lose forever, but what type of team on the percentage play, right? A, B, and C type teams. All right, there you have it, folks. That's the trends are your friends. Yeah, good call there, Mitchell. Man, I even got it written right there. I said to myself last week, I said, because I forgot to give you guys the consensus picks, right? And I said, man, I forgot the consensus. I said, I got to print out my my schedule, because sometimes I log off too quick. And it's like, crap, I forgot to give the stats and trends. All right, I got some pretty good trends here on the total. I think it's the total I saw here earlier. And yeah, look at that. So when Atlanta's on the road, so the Hawks are playing tonight against Golden State, the total is 220 or more, and it's a Monday, 80% to the over. All same thing when Atlanta's a road underdog last 2 years during the month of November, 1-10 straight up, but 9-2 to the over. When the Chicago Bulls are a home favorite, and the total is between 215 to 220, 14-3-1 to the under. So that's a pretty good trend right there. And Minnesota as a 3.5 to 6 point road underdog last 2 years, 10-2 to the over, but 2-10 against the point spread. So not a good trend right there to the point spread. And when I look at this here, let me see if there are any blue stars. I'm always looking for the blue stars, right? The 80% club trends. And let me see if there's any pick 'em. I didn't have the odds there. All right, let me see. Golden State, look at that. Golden State as a home favorite last 5 years during the month of November, 23-3 as a home favorite. Pretty good, right? And another under here. Look at that. Chicago as a home favorite. Last 2 years, totals between 215 to 220, 1-9-1, and they're playing the New York Knicks. So maybe the under might be worth a look here tonight. And last one. So the Phoenix Suns as a road favorite last 3 years, and they're going through a 3-0 road cycle. So think about that. When the Phoenix Suns are on the road as a favorite last 3 years, and they're 3-0 in the cycle, 9-1 to the over. 9-1 to the over, not too bad. All right, let's take a look at the NHL. Let's take a look at some NHL stats and trends, and let's see if we have any friends in the NHL today. The New York Rangers, you know what? Maybe the puck line. I at the beginning of the show, I talked about, the Rangers or the puck line. I'll have to look at the home underdogs puck line, but the Rangers as an underdog month of November, 36-9 on the puck line. So, yeah, that's pretty solid right there. When Florida is a road team at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers, 8-2 to the over last 10 games. And let me see here. LA Kings as a road underdogs versus non-conference opponent coming off 3 unders. 2-9 to the under. So the Leafs and Kings under tonight might be a nice, Peterson and Campbell maybe tonight. We'll see who the starting goalies are tonight. And those are your trends today for a Monday, November 8th. Let's get the bag. All the best, everyone, says Bo Jackson. So, yeah. So, again, thanks, everybody, for tuning in each and every day right here at the Rain Report. And don't forget, if you missed the show live, not to worry. We're not going to put you in a timeout. Hey, the best part is you can get the show on the replay, and this way you can look back at the show and get the information that you needed for your helping for your handicapping, right? All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day, and as always, shop for value, play those percentages. Hasta la vista, baby. I'll see you guys mañana.